So you've been thinking about making a comic, right? No? Then why are you here? Let's say, hypothetically, you want this. You're an artist already, you like to draw, maybe you even like to draw your own original characters. You know their general stories, their worlds. It only seems logical that the next step would be to take this beautiful information and slap it into its final form. The comic. But wait, you think. Alas, I cannot make a comic, for I do not know the story's every detail, nor is my art ready for such a task. Thus, I must train in the shackles of art for decades until my hands produce something worthy of existence. I must master the most consistent and beautiful art style. Then, and only then, will I be able to make a comic. Well, my friend, I am here to tell you that you are an idiot. Stop. Make the comic now. But Liz, this seems like a decision I should have a bit more free will on. Shut up and make the comic. This may seem like a threat, but actually, it's encouragement. Why? Because not only will making a comic be the most fun you ever have, but it will also provide growth to you as an artist in ways you might not even realize yet. I wanted to make this video specifically to talk about 3 points. This is my comic making sales pitch, and you are officially held hostage to it. Point 1. Finishing what you start. Do you struggle to complete a single illustration? Well, good news. With comics, you have to finish like 50 per episode. Now, on the surface, this may seem like your worst nightmare, but it's not. I wholeheartedly believe that comics are perfectionist exposure therapy, because if you want to tell a story, if you want to move to the next panel, you have to finish what came before it. Single illustrations outside of comics can often be frozen or abandoned without consequence. The same cannot be said with comics, because if you don't finish one panel, you're not just freezing that panel, you're freezing the whole story. You might ask, but how do I know when a panel is done? How do I know it's good enough? I hear those 2 words a lot. Many people, especially artists I've noticed, worry they aren't good enough. Here's the thing though. I don't think most people actually know what good enough means. I think a lot of people say good enough, but they mean perfect. I have to be perfect. Here is a fun fact. Did you know that perfection and paralysis are synonyms? No? That's because they're not. But for the sake of my analogy, we're gonna go with this. Someone who wants to write a good story can write a good story. Someone who wants to write a perfect story will not make it past the first page. Good enough is not perfect. Good enough is literally knowing enough or having enough of the skill to do what you're trying to do. I have a comic on webtoon called Roots. There are 11 episodes up right now. Are they perfect? No. Let me tell you, there are some panels in older episodes that cause me physical ailment. I look at them and a tiny piece of me sails to the deepest corner of the ocean and drowns. Could I go back and redo them, like I did with my older comics years ago? Sure, but once you start the cycle of redrawing something, only to redraw it again, only to redraw it again, only to redraw, you kill your story. Look at it from the reader's perspective. A reader doesn't want to go back to an episode they've already read and liked, only to watch it slowly get a little bit shinier over time. They want the next episode. They want the story. Don't paralyze your story with perfection. Let me ask you this. Can you draw? Just generally speaking, can you draw? Can you write? Congratulations, you have the tools necessary to make a comic. You are good enough to make a comic. And hey, realistically, even if you're not, making the comic in and of itself will give you the skills and practice needed to get there. You can train yourself to finish what you start. Make a comic. Point 2. Practicing variety. In the past year, I've drawn someone walking on the ceiling, I've drawn a homeless man and his snake, Melissa, and I've drawn facial expressions of sheer hatred and disgust. These are things that would make little sense to draw in a single illustration. In fact, I probably wouldn't even think to do so, because why? But comics force you to get better at drawing stuff that you don't even want to get better at. For me, this is buildings and vehicles and anything with too many right angles. I do not gain joy from drawing these things. However, we live in a world of buildings and vehicles and things with too many right angles. My characters also live in such a world. So alas, I learned to draw these things. As an artist, it's easy to get stuck in the rut of drawing the same picture all the time. This picture is often of a person with a face and a void. Now technically, there's nothing wrong with drawing the same pose or the same object all the time, especially because art is a hobby in most cases. Draw what you want, have fun with it. Nonetheless, since my intention with this video is to bully you into making a comic, I'm gonna argue the opposite. Draw more stuff. Expand. Unlock the bigger world before you. At first, it may seem daunting. You will come across stuff in your script that you wrote, and you'll think, why did I write this? I can't draw that. But my friend, you can draw that. You can. You just don't know how yet. Years ago, I would daydream up story scenarios with lighting, magical lighting, that I had no clue how to draw. I am a lighting addict. If I could eat the sun, I would. But at the time, I didn't know the sun. We were strangers with uniquely poor communication, which is somewhat still true since I only step outside twice a week. Over time though, lighting principles made more and more sense to the point that present day, they're a natural understanding. Why is that? Because I pushed myself to draw things I initially sucked at until one day I sucked less. It's the law of sucking. Don't talk yourself out of drawing something just because it's unfamiliar. Chances are, if you've made it to this point in the video, you have a story in the back of your mind that you want to tell. So why not tell it? Is there something in the story you're scared of drawing wrong? Because here is a challenge for you. Draw the thing wrong. You can tweak it after, you can compare it to other images, you can pick apart what specifically is and isn't accurate to the intended result. But all of that starts with drawing something. Drawing anything, even the wrong thing, is a natural part of learning how to draw the right thing. Remember, the law of sucking. We suck until we suck less, until we suck none. And then we find something new to suck at. It's a beautiful circle of life. Conclusion? Draw new things. Expand your art world so you can expand your character's real world. It all works out. And finally, point 3. Fun. If you make a comic, I guarantee your mind will be hooked on the process. Either that, or I'm just a crippling addict. But seriously, do you like picking apart personalities, character arcs, world building, magic systems? You can do all of these at the same time. Why aren't you making a comic? Why? You have a story. And if you don't, you do now. Sorry, I don't make the rules. So write that story. Draw that story. I promise you, you can.